Hey, YouTube. It's your girl, Tony B, back again. Don't mind my little puffball and stuff because I look like a big sugar baker right now. But I had to hop on, create another video, let y'all know how amazing I feel. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You really don't know what vitamin D, C, and zinc does to your body until you really double up on it. You need it to fight off colds and viruses and flus and stuff and infections and stuff. It's amazing. But anywho, it's not why I hopped on here. So I hopped on here to talk about us pouring into our children, okay? Because fun fact about me, I'm a mother of 4 sons, and I also have a stepdaughter. And, you know, they're all older now, teenagers. My stepdaughter's 21. And you never really know the influence that you have on your children until you start seeing them grow up. And the things that they're doing as they're growing up. And the way you grew up. And how your childhood was versus their childhood. And you don't realize the growth within yourself until you see the growth in your children and how they move. So last night I called my son. He's 13, and he is a phenomenal artist. Like, and it's wild because he has 2 Capricorn parents. He's an Aries. And he's his dad's only child. So he kind of has like the only child syndrome. But with me, of course, he has siblings. But he's very to himself. He's very, very, very artistic. And it's amazing how artistic he is. And he's been that way since I can remember. Like, he went to Columbus State Art School in the summertime for a couple years. And from there, his growth is just phenomenal. So all my sons are a little different, but I wanted to hone in on him because he is like a great mixture of me and his father. And he has a wonderful dad. Wonderful. So I called him last night and we were talking and he was like, Mom, you know, I don't know, you know, how he talks to his father and their relationship, but I try to keep a very open relationship with my children. So he was like, Mom, I drew his best friend as a girl, and they've known each other since I believe elementary school, and they're both in 8th grade now. So he's like, I drew her something. I don't know if it's corny, but I want to show you. And he sent it to me, and I almost cried because I remember being a teenager, and if a boy liked you or a girl liked you, they would write you a note. But my son drew 2 amazing photos of them, like, and he's into anime, so it's 2 amazing anime photos of them hugging. And I was like so touched by that because you don't realize as a parent the effects that you have on your children until you see them grow and you see the person, the individual they are becoming. And I'm so proud of myself for not forcing religion and all these other crazy things on my children. I want them to be free, open, and just grow into who they are. And pouring into our children means that you have to give them that love and that light and show them you being a better version of yourself. You don't necessarily have to be a perfect parent, but show them what it means to work hard and work hard for yourself and how to heal, and that you spread love and light into the world, and they watch you, they see that. So I'm never telling someone to be that parent that, you know, gives their child everything and forces them to do sports if they don't want to, but you think it's going to make them a better person or anything like that. Because really, you know, as us growing up, when your parent told you to do something you didn't want to do, like, you did, you know, you just some off the wall shit. You just did what you wanted to do, really. Because, you know, as an individual, I don't like to feel like someone's forcing me to do something. And that's how I felt as a teenager. So with them, they don't see, you know, I don't smoke, their dads don't smoke. Like, they don't see a lot of negative stuff anyway. But and don't get me wrong, I know they're going to grow up to be their own individual selves, so they could pick up on things from their friends, what have you. But for the most part, I know my children, and they are amazing. My oldest son, he's 15. He's about to be 16. He is a computer genius. Right now, I'm buying him computer parts because he wants to build his own computer. He was like, Mom, instead of buying me a gaming computer, I'll make my own. Just help me buy the parts. And he's worked for money to get his own parts. So I told him, like, you buy half of the parts and I'll buy the other half. But just pouring into your children like that, if you see that they're good at something, invest in it. We spend all this time buying shoes, clothes, hair, makeup. I will go without all that for my children. Like, I will go without, I will look like a bum for the rest of my life. I don't care. And my children aren't even materialistic. I want them to be the best possible versions of themselves. So, 15-year-old, computer genius. 13-year-old, amazing artist. My 12-year-old, believe it or not, he's really into fashion, and even though he can't keep his clothes clean to save his life or his shoes, but he has an app where he puts all these clothes together, like all these outfits and stuff. And my baby, he's just the sports guy. He's football, basketball, baseball, like anything sports. And he's 10. He's all for it. Like, he loves sports. He's very, very good at it. And they're all very smart and intelligent. And it makes me so proud. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry because I want to. But it makes me so proud to be their mom. And, you know, there were many days when I was younger, because I did have them young. My first son I had at 18. Many days, many dark, dark days where I didn't know how I was going to make it through the week. I had maybe $20 to make it through the whole week with my children being small and having to feed them. I've been a single mom in having all of them, and I don't regret my decisions at all. But you think some days that you're not being a good parent. You think to yourself, like, am I doing this right? Like, are my children going to hate me? Are they going to resent me? Are they, like, you just have all these feelings of being a parent until they grow up, and you're just like, wow. This is my individual person. Like, I had you. You chose me to bring you here, and you're amazing. So I know the younger generation now is a lot different from when we were younger. And we have to kind of feed into that, because we're going into the realm of technology, and everything is social media, and everything is high fashion and having this, that, and the other. And we want to make sure that we are instilling in our children the act of humbleness and just being a good person. And yes, you can want these things, you can have these things, but the character behind the clothes and the shoes and behind the person is what makes us who we are. I don't ever want my children to grow up to be ugly individuals. I don't want them to grow up and people not like them. But I also want them to be themselves, and I want them to be leaders and strong and very loving and respectful. And that's why I use words of affirmation like, you are a king, you are a God, you are a son. And when I mean son, S-U-N, you are amazing, you are love and light. And I let them know these things. I'm not afraid to talk to my children like that, because they need to know, they need to hear it from their mother and from their father first. Because when they get out into the world is ugly. The world is a scary place. A scary, scary place. And I want them to be prepared. So, pour into your children. Make them feel like there is nothing in this world that they cannot do, they cannot achieve. And invest in your children, because you never know. Like, for example, Chris Brown, his mom, I'm sure she invested in her son to make sure that he got to the right people. And now he's probably going to take care of her for the rest of her life. Not saying that that's what you should want your children to do, because that's not what I want my children to do. But if your children love you, they will in return take care of you. So if your child is amazing at something, at one thing, it doesn't matter if don't try to force them to be a sports fanatic, or don't try to force them to play an instrument if they don't want to. Don't try to force them to be someone that they're not. Let them evolve into the person they're meant to be, and be there for them to help guide them on the way. And parents, you have to realize that your children were born to teach you. It's not that you have to teach your children. Your children were born to teach you to become a better person in life, a better individual. It shows you different aspects of yourself, because you not only are responsible for you, you're responsible for this little being also, until they're old enough to take care of themselves. So, with that being said, I just wanted to say how amazing my children are. Really, they are so beautiful, and they've gone through some things with me that I'm ashamed of putting them through. Like, I'm ashamed that I, showed them certain things of myself. But again, it's all about learning and growing, and they see how I am. They see that I have my own businesses. They ask me questions all the time. They ask me about credit. They ask me about credit cards. They ask me about money and having my own business. They ask me, all these questions, because they're growing. They want to know how to become businessmen themselves, and I'm going to teach them. I'm going to show them. If they want to, like my 13-year-old wants to have a clothing line. When he's ready, I tell him all the time, when you're ready, son, mama's going to be right here to get you together. I know what to do. Like, I'm going to be right here to help you, invest in you, and everything. So, pour into your children, show them the way, and let them show you the way. Don't always talk down on them like you're superior to them. Don't always treat them like slaves. If the remote is right in front of you, get up and get it yourself. It's good for them to have chores and responsibilities, yes. But don't just make them be your little slave. Don't just, have a child to keep someone. Or don't, have a child out of love and light and, raise them as such. Pour into your children. I didn't want this to be long, so I'm going to end it on that note. If you like my videos, please subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to say something, let me know. We are all here to bring peace, love, and light to this world. And in a dark, dark world right now that we live in, we need as many of us to be positive and peaceful and bring that light, bring that force, energy. I love you all. Have a great day.